Excuse me. Happy Wednesday, as I said. Yes, I think we're just on live now on Instagram. So tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Any plans? Are you okay? Yes, Shirley, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. It's Hannah that she's in tears because she's feeling bad for Sean. And she is feeling bad for herself, I'd say, as well. She was so looking forward to that sleepover. And it's not happening now. So she just got up there and the tears are streaming down her face. But she's fine. She'll be fine. We'll organise something else for them today that, she'll forget about it. Morning, Deirdre. Yeah, so she'll be grand. She'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, and then Zoom wouldn't work either. So apologies. I kept saying not loading. So I was thinking I might be only able to go on Facebook. I didn't think I'd be able to go on Instagram as well. But all okay, all done. We're all great. Okay, perfect. So this this morning, I wanted to touch on the 6 mental faculties that we have because we mentioned them. I think it was earlier this week or it might have been last week. And it's they're really powerful tools that we have that we don't really utilize. We don't use them enough. I think that we live from the outside in. Most of us do, and that's when we never really. And that's the way we're programmed. It's nobody's fault, but we'll never really do anything, or come to much, do what we love. I'm not saying you guys are, I'm saying the population. So we never really come to much when when we're doing it that way, because we're letting the outside world dictate our feelings and our actions, and we're looking at, our results, and we're not happy with it, and then creating more of the same. Morning, essential oil images. So that's kind of what happens. And we just, as I said, we're using our 5 senses. So when we use our 5 senses, smell, hear, taste, touch. What's the other one? Smell, hear, taste, touch, whatever the other one is. We're just, we're living from there, and that's not, we're not going to get very far, is what I'm trying to say. So our 6 mental faculties are reason. I always forget these when I'm writing them out. Reason, perception, the will, imagination, intuition, and did I say perception? I did. Will, imagination, memory. Memory is the other one. So with memory is, there's no such thing as a bad memory. We all think, oh my God, we have such a bad memory. I can't remember that girl's name. And of course, the more you tell yourself that, the more it's going to be that way. So memory is, we don't have a bad memory. So there's things we can do to improve our memory. So like say, learn words in a certain way. We can learn numbers in a certain way, but there's loads of books. Bob was saying on lesson 5 on thinking into results, that there's actually books that you can buy to improve your memory. And I've never done this now, but I suppose I never really thought, you don't really think about stuff like this. You kind of think, well, my memory is what it is, and you don't really kind of think. Morning, Blowhead. You don't kind of think I need to improve on it. So it's it's not something that you kind of. I'm using the memory book to let us know, Deirdre, what book you're using. Good morning, Marie. Morning, everyone jumping on. Thank you so much. Memorize shopping list. You're using the memory book. Okay, great. That's brilliant, Deirdre. Let us know what the name of it is if there's a memory book. Because Bob did say that in lesson 5, that there are books out there that you can buy to help you improve your memory. So if you're someone that always says, "Oh, I have an awful bad memory," stop saying it. Number 1, stop saying it. And number 2, you can improve it. You can exercise it and make it better. So there are weak and strong memories, and maybe that's what you're trying to say. You have a weak memory, but you can strengthen it. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't always have to be that way. So we don't want to live from the outside in. We want to live from the inside out, and this is why we use these mental faculties. So we live from the inside out, and when we live from the inside out, we are concentrating on what we want. So say our imagination. So we use our imagination to think about what we want. So we're looking at our results, and we think, instead of saying, "Oh my God," instead of getting down and out, "I don't like that result, I don't like my bank account, I don't like, when you're in school, what's on that report card," instead of, feeling sorry for yourself and playing the victim, you can, okay, no, I'm not happy with that. I'm going to improve it, and change your thoughts around it straight away. I would love to know those books. Yeah, exactly. Deirdre, whenever you're ready. No, never would think about it like that. No, absolutely, Fiona. I'm the exact same. You kind of just think, yeah, it's just something that's there, and it's always going to be that way. But because it is one of our mental faculties, it can be strengthened. So so there, as I said, there is 6. So I have notes written here because as I said, I always forget 6 of them. There's always one I forget. Always. And see, the more I say that, there'll always be one I will forget. I'm convincing myself of that. Morning, Neve. So reason then gives us the ability to think, and when you reason, it gives you kind of the ability to think about what you want. So when you look at your results, you're kind of like, okay, I'm not happy with that, but be pragmatic about it. Don't be the victim about it. Definitely would love the names of those books to improve memory. Yeah, absolutely. We create our thoughts into pictures, and that's what we do. Our thoughts are, we think in pictures. It's like when I say to you, what's your fridge look like? What's your car look like? I bet you will remember them all. Yeah, surely. Next time I talk about them, I will definitely remember them all. Okay, Deirdre, thanks so much. The Memory Book by Lorraine and Lucas. It's one of Bob's recommendations. Okay, I became one of those bad memory people. I had a great memory up to my 20s. Okay, I get you. Okay, so the book is called, and I'll pop it in. I was going to say I'll pop it into Instagram. So by Lorraine and Lucas, it's just called the Memory Book by Lorraine and Lucas. Okay, so it's called the Memory Book. Can't even say the word. So Lorraine is Lorayne, and I presume in Lucas or and Lucas. Lorraine in Lucas, it must be her name. Okay, so I might put it into Instagram here. Okay, the Memory Book. Memory Book. Perfect. Okay, so the Memory Book by Lorraine in Lucas. Thank you so much, Deirdre. You'll have to give us some feedback on that whenever you get to the end of it, or as you're getting through it. Let us know if it's good. Lorraine and Lucas. Sorry. Okay, it's Lorraine and Lucas. So it's Lorayne and Lucas. Thanks. I will buy. Perfect. Morning. So so that is memory. Okay, so we know how to improve our memory. Okay, reason gives the ability to think, and we can be taught how to think. We can actually teach ourselves how to think. So we create the thoughts into pictures and reason with ourselves and reason with the results that we're getting. Yeah, perfect. Hannah's gone down to hers as well. Okay. Think about how you can do better. So instead of saying, oh no, look at those results, oh my God. And I always go back to the example when you're in school and you get that report card. You always just think, oh my God, like that's the be all and end all. And if the report card was bad, then you just felt like shit, really, like, So I'm so glad I have this information now because, I can teach Michael and Hannah not to be worrying about what's on the report card. It doesn't mean anything. It actually doesn't mean anything. It just means that they were able to regurgitate something that they learned during the year. And, what we learn in school. Yeah, of course, school is important, but it doesn't matter, how bad you do in school. You can have an amazing life. Look at Bob Proctor, was in school for 2 months. And look how well he's done. So, he's doing what he loves. Tom was talking about this morning on the 555 that once you're doing what you love, you're going to earn loads of money anyway. So, and you're going to be happy and you're going to have that financial freedom. I'm not saying earning loads of money is your goal, but it's mostly what people want. It's not the actual money; it's what you can do with it and who you can help. So the report card. Yeah, it used to be, you think, oh my God, and I see it even, with other people, and, they're giving out to their kids because of what they got in their results, and their leaving cert and their junior cert, and, there's fights and they think it's the be all and end all, they really do. And what's it heading towards? Getting a job with somebody else and working for 40 years, probably doing what you don't love. So it's really sad the way we're programmed when you think about it. It really is. Someone else's opinion doesn't define who you are. Absolutely, 100%. Because you have to realize that. And sometimes we we think we get, somebody might say something that's not nice to us. And I was the same. I had zero confidence growing up, absolutely zero confidence growing up. Somebody said something to me, I would really take it personally, and you'd forget about everything else that was said maybe that day or that week or that month or that year, and all you do is focus on that negative one thing that one person said, and it just eats up inside you, and it eats into your confidence and your self-esteem. And that's what happens when we're younger, when we don't have this confidence and we don't have this knowledge. So it's really important to not to live from the outside in, because it can take over, really can take over your life. And when you live from the inside out, you're in control. So when you react to situations, when you shout and you react straight away to a situation, that situation is in control of you. But when you respond and you even take a step back and think, okay, this is how we'll improve this, you're in control. So we need to remain as in control as we can, especially throughout the day. And I really think gratitude is massive in this. I really think gratitude has helped me an awful lot with this, because you're concentrating on all day long the good things and the thing, everything that you have. So you're not concentrating on lack, you're coming from a place of prosperity. So every time something happens, like something breaks or the kids have a fight, you're kind of like, well, it'll pass. And if they broke a glass or a cup, there's more cups, there's more glasses, we get another one. Or it's just the way, and it's nobody's fault, it's the way we're programmed. Children are getting more focused on report cards. I don't know where it's coming from. People are asking the end of year test scores for small children. Oh my God. They're supposed to be assessments to show what has been learned over the year and what needs more work. As all are almost seen as intelligence scores now. Oh my God, Deirdre, that's so sad, because they're so young. They don't need to be in that. It's way too early for them. Wow, that's amazing. And like we had parent teacher meetings, and obviously they were over the phone, and with COVID we didn't actually go in, and I found that they were just lovely. The parent teacher was fabulous. I wasn't asking for any numbers. I was just asking, how are they doing in school? How are they doing with friends? Are they okay outside? How are they playing with people? That's what I love to know. And not if they're top of the class, or if they're answering all the questions, or did they get all their sums right? Did they get all their spellings right? I didn't ask those questions. I just wanted to know how they are in school, and they were both doing amazing. And Michael, could really do with doing a little bit more reading. And we're doing a bit more reading with them, and that's it. That was it, and that was lovely. I had a fabulous conversation with the two teachers, and it's so lovely. Me too. It's amazing. Gratitude. No judgment is possible when we can complete it. Yeah, absolutely, Shirley. Fiona, that's mad. Yeah. So Deirdre, thanks for that. Excuse me. That's just, it's such a shame. I actually, Deirdre, I thought you were going to pipe, because Deirdre's a teacher, I thought you were going to pipe up there and say, no, it's changed from what I was saying. It's changed. It's not that way anymore. But no, it's actually worse, isn't it? Oh, once they're happy. Yeah, exactly, Fiona. Once they're happy, and they spend so much time in school, and it's very, it's very routine for them. And kids don't, sometimes they find it hard to adapt to routine. And as well, I found that when they went back, after COVID, that there wasn't as many breaks, and Michael didn't, he didn't really settle in, very quickly, when he went back after COVID, because, they had to sit at their desk for longer, and I think they were just getting a 15-minute break. So he was in there from 9 until 2:30. I think it was 2:10 he was finishing, because he used to get the bus. But he used to not get any break on only 15 minutes. And, that's very hard, especially for a boy. He is so active. He loves to be running around. He has so much energy, and he loves to burn that off. And, and he'll same with any other boys, same with girls. It's not just Michael. It's not just boys. But he just definitely found it very hard to go in and sit for that many hours. It's not normal for them. It really isn't normal for them. It's not natural. So anyway, back to 100% agree that the tests are now used to grade children's intelligence. Is such a shame. Oh, yeah, it really is such a shame, because they look at that and they judge themselves through that, and they feel, oh, I'm useless, I'm really bad, and then and that's what happens to them, and that's how they go in on themselves, and that's how they can cause anxiety among them, in themselves, and it's so sad. And I do see Michael, with little things that he doesn't react great to some situations. So I'd be hoping the report card comments are more positive now. But I find it strange for children and parents to want to compare their scores. Oh my God. That actually happens, comparing scores among their kids. I presume that's what you mean, Deirdre. Oh my God. Mental. Look, this is nobody's fault, and we're not judging. But it's such a shame, and this is the way we're programmed. And like, only for, we know this information, we may be still back there. We may be still in that situation or in that way of thinking. So it's so sad. But okay, so go back to the mental faculty. So perception is the other one, and it's how you see a certain thing and how you see a certain situation. We all know perception, what it means, but we can change your perception in loads of different ways. So I remember Bob talking about this before, was it Sylvia, where if you have a problem, you can actually write out that problem, put it in the middle of a table, and you can sit in different areas around that table. So when you sit in different spots, look at that problem, and, you might have a different perspective even where you sit, or you can actually imagine Bob Proctor is sitting there. What would he say about that situation? What would he say about that problem? Or your mentor, or, your husband, or, whatever. A good friend that you always turn to, whatever it is, you can actually have a look and think about what they would think of that situation. A lot of us were raised in comparison, and we repeat what we don't repair. Yeah, so true, Anne-Marie. Thanks for that. So true. And definitely, as I was just saying earlier, I do notice Michael, sometimes he doesn't react to situations great. And, I'm doing energy healing on him. I'm going to be doing I'm doing the healing on him. Did it on him again last night. So it just helps with, mental balancing. And, sometimes if he's losing in a game, he might just not play anymore, and, we're just kind of teaching him that that's not how you do it. So it happened yesterday evening, and he just didn't want to play anymore. But then we continued to play, us three, and he joined back in then, because it's not the end of the world if he loses, and he's kind of realising that. But that's totally normal kids thing. I'm not worried about it. But, it's all about teaching them to respond and better and have fun. It's all about having fun for them. Okay, so perception. Okay, the will. The will helps you with focus. So, when you go into it happens to me all the time, when you go in, and I actually think this is one I am going to improve on. When you go into your phone to do something, sometimes I might go in to check something. Oh, did that girl get back to me on Gmail? But I might have looked at 10 other things before I actually get into my Gmail, because there are so many distractions. So sometimes when I pick up my phone, I'll say what I'm going to do, and I'll keep saying it until I do it, because you're bombarded with so much information and so much crap and so much news, and even news things comes up on my feed, and I don't know where that comes from, because I am not into the news at all. But when pull down the little blind in your phone, it's kind of there, and corona results start coming up, and I'm kind of like, God, I didn't even ask for this. But anyway, that's just there. I don't take any notice of that. But we're told we go into so much stuff before we actually do what we need to do, and that happens to me all the time. So I might get a comment on something. Oh, somebody tagged you in this comment, whatever, and you're going to that straight away. I find that happens to me a lot. So with the will, one way to practice focus is to put a little dot on the wall. Could be just with pencil. Nobody else is going to see it, only you. And just stare at that dot, and start off with like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and then just try and bring it up to 60 seconds. Stare at that dot without looking at anything else. And then, or it could be like a candle as well. You could light a candle opposite your favorite chair and sit and stare at that for a minute. In this case, I think discipline is key. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, exactly. But so when you put a candle in front of you as well, you could try it that way if you didn't want to do the dot, and just stare at that for a minute. Try and do it for a minute, and your eyes will move away. It's like when you first start to do mirror work, you're looking at yourself, looking into your own eyes, and I used to look everywhere except at the mirror at myself, and it all takes practice. So this is how we strengthen these muscles, by staring at this, and it's strange. It's a strange thing to do. It's not something that is normal for us, but yeah, that's one way of strengthening your the will, and getting focused on something. So I can go into more detail on these again anyway on a separate video, but this is just kind of skimming the surface, and plus it's 9:30, so I don't want to go on too much longer. So the imagination, then we're using our imagination when we're setting our goal. We know about the imagination. We know about that. Memory, reason, and intuition. Intuition is follow your intuition. This is what we do every morning when we're asking for guidance. So we know, when we actually really sit down and relax and ask the question, the answers will come, and they come through flashes, and it's your gut feeling, and they come through maybe an idea, an inspiration, or somebody might say something that day, or you might think of somebody's face might keep coming into your head, somebody's name might keep coming into your head, and those are the little things, those are the little answers. So remember, when we're praying, we're talking to God. When we follow our intuition, that's God talking to us. So God is us. We're not looking for something on the outside. It's coming from within. So when you actually really relax and calm down your body and your mind, and I know it's not as hard, it's not as easy to do it here in the mornings, because we might be surrounded by family, and it's definitely a hard thing to do, because we don't have as much time to do it in the mornings. But that's why I always say practice it throughout the day. Definitely do it more than once, and do it when you have your own little me time. Go down to your room, maybe listen to some soft music, maybe do some meditation. It's a great time to do it, is after meditation, because you're in that lovely relaxed zone, in that lovely relaxed mode. Your mind and your body is relaxed, and that's when you ask those questions. And when your energy is flowing to and through us all the time, so it's not going to flow freely if you're not in that relaxed state, so you won't really get the answers, or it might take longer for the answers to come, and they won't come until you're in the relaxed state. So if you ask the question and you're looking for the answer, or where's the answer, that's when it's not going to come. It's definitely not going to come, because you're in that kind of panic mode, and you're kind of wondering, where is it, and you're not putting the trust in the exercise that you're doing. So just ask the question. And people think this is such a hard thing to do. They make it out, I know I did at the start as well, they make it out to be so difficult. It's not. You relax and you ask the question, and then you let it go. It's not even a thing that you need to be thinking about it all day long. No, absolutely not. You just ask the question and let it go, and the answers will come. But when we look for the answers, that's when they don't come. So just be mindful of that when we do that. So that's your intuition, and that's how we follow our intuition, and our gut feeling. All these little words, is whatever way we describe it, that's what it is. And a lot of the times we will brush off these little ideas and inspirations, because self-doubt might come in, or I haven't talked to that person in 10 years. Why would I ring her, or whatever? So these are all little things that, you're ignoring the answers that we're getting. We're ignoring the answers that we're getting from our higher self, because the answers are from within. They're all there. We just don't trust ourselves enough. Sometimes we ask other people, we put that power into other people's hands. Should I do this? Should I go here? Should I pay for this? Should I get this? Should I do this course? Should I, set up my own business? Should I leave my job? Should I? And it's not there, when